Is it worth it to travel to Japan as an anime fan? First of all, there's a truth you need to understand before you even think about going to Japan. Anime, manga goods are not cheaper in Japan than they are in the USA. In fact, many items are more expensive in Japan. Figurines, CDs, DVDs, games, etc., tend to be much cheaper in the USA. Manga itself is cheaper, but it's also in Japanese, so unless you can actually read the language, it may not be worth it. You probably should also think about this: anime is not more popular in Japan than it is anywhere else. It's still a nerdy hobby. Manga is a little different, but only because there is manga for people of every age. Even still, most people stop reading manga after they get older. So, is visiting Japan worth it? Let's look at the money. It costs me, because I live on the east coast of the USA, $1,400 to fly to Japan. I could, for that amount, buy 200 manga and have it flown over to me from Amazon JP. So, no, it's not worth it to fly 15 hours one way to buy manga a little cheaper, since it's actually cheaper to let it fly to me. Last time I was in Japan, I found an anime figurine I wanted for $50. I found it on Amazon.com with free shipping from the same company for $35. Not worth it for figurines, either. Or CDs, which are easier to get online than find in the stores, sometimes. That being said, there are a lot of things that make Japan worth visiting. The culture, the cities, the towns, the temples, the mountains, the people, the food, and, yes, it's a hoot being in Akihabara on Sunday when the road is pedestrians only. Or visiting Nakano to look at vintage anime toys, or Ikebukuro to see the girls dressed up to buy boys' love items on Atome Road. There are lots of small, rather expensive goods you'll only ever see at an anime cons or online, that you can find in Anime Torturanowana. It's fun to discover a comic of a thing you didn't know about in the stores, or at a comic event. Food and hotels in Japan will vary widely. There's all sorts of places to stay, from high-end hotels in the cities, to country inns. Generally, because my wife and I travel comfortably, we spend about $150/night on hotels. We eat on the street a lot, meaning ramen and whatever sandwiches from a convenience store. So for a day of shopping, we tend to set aside $100 per day for food and stuff, by which we mean anime stuff, manga, souvenirs from temples and shrines, and miscellaneous scrap. You can easily spend less. Most shrines and temples are free to get into the grounds. You mostly can't get inside the buildings. Museums and galleries are not usually free. The big anime, manga stores take credit cards, but having actual cash makes buying stuff easier. You can get cash at ATMs in post offices and 7-Elevens there, but having a little in your pocket before you get there helps. There are convenience stores everywhere and you can get very good food at them. Ramen, hot or cold, pasta platters, which they will microwave for you, sandwiches, rice balls, salads. So if you don't have a lot of money, you can probably eat at Konbini for under $10/meal and still get some decent food. Mount Fuji is gorgeous, Kyoto is awesome, the life-size Gundamano Deba is large. The convenience stores in Japan are an art form. Japan is a wonderful place to visit for itself. And, for itself, I would recommend you go. But it is absolutely not worth going just to get anime goods.